For the Whisper, this is going to be your inventory setup. If you're going to copy what I did anyways. So you're going to want to equip your holy sang, or your sang, sorry. And then you're going to, as soon as you start, your Awakener's orb is going to get destroyed, so then you can swap to your Tunic and Shadow. And this way, it just gives you an extra angler instead of starting with this and then deleting your orb, then you're gonna not have that extra angler. So since this gets deleted anyways, you might as well just start equipping with your sang and your shield. And the pre-pot for this fight is very easy. All you do is angler stam, use your heart, get your anglers, and then you're off to the races. And that is the gear setup that I used for this boss. I forgot to mention the sang is only for the enraged part. You're going to use your Tunic and Shadow for the rest of the part, and then the Web Weaver is just because we are only doing the Sanites ghosts method, so you only kill 4 ghosts and you just take 70, 80 damage, whatever it's going to do. You just take the damage, and that way you save more sanity than you spend. The Whisper is another one of those bosses that I don't think that it really helps you very much to do any practice of the normal one. This is another one where I don't have very much KC. Yeah, see, I only have 39. The reason being is because it's pretty much all different. Just do the normal Whisper until you at least are able to recognize when it shoots out a magic attack or a ranged attack. And then also just get a feel for moving. Maybe use the tiles that you would be using in the Awakened version, and then you can just get a feel for swapping your prayers and then moving. But really, I don't think that it's like anything similar because, I don't know, the Awakened version is just a step up, like far above. Like the normal version is just too easy compared to the Awakened version, in my opinion. Other than that, the only real practice that I did was I just stared at a picture of the pillar house of somebody else doing the Awakened version. I just stared at the pillar house until I finally clicked in my head what is like the lowest pillar health, what's the second lowest, and the third one, because I used regionId's method for the pillars, where you just identify your 1, 2, and 3 pillars, and then you also find where your 5th one is, and then you just use 1, 2, 3, and then you know where the 5th one is, so the 4th one is just going to be the one that's not the 5th one type thing. So that's the only real practice that I did, was I just stared at the pillar house to make sure that I was like, that I knew like instantly when I went into the Shadow Realm. I knew instantly like which one was the first one, and that was what ended up helping me at that part. So there's really not a whole lot of practice that you can do for this one. You just kind of have to go into the Awakened one and give it a go. So I don't have a ton of tips for this boss. It's just kind of something that you have to get used to. But the first tip that I will give is try to learn the thresholds of health, of like when it's going to change its attack styles. So the first one, I believe, don't quote me on it, but it changes from this attack style to the other one at sub 80%, so it does this pillar thing. And then after that, it should be shooting me with the other style that it does until all the way till 30%. So let's see here. So I'm going to freeze it. Yeah, see, so then under 80%, then it'll start hitting you with this other style, and it should keep this style until I believe under 30%. And then under 30%, go see if I can find it. So yeah, this will be under 30%. So I freeze it. Under 30%, it'll do the like thing where it just swaps in between every single hit. So know those thresholds, be expecting them, and my advice for this one is I would always count in my head 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, because it shoots out 5 attacks at a time. And whatever it starts attacking you with on this phase, it's going to finish attacking you with on this phase. And then the only other tip that I really have for this part is I use my green tiles here instead of those blue tiles, because those green tiles, if you were watching, all that I was doing was going back and forth between my green tiles, because it doesn't matter if it's that attack or the one where it spawns on like a wall on either side of you, you dodge it no matter what on these tiles. See? So I just dodged it there. So those green tiles are really nice. I would definitely recommend you using them. I'm going to try to link my tiles below. I've used jedi's tiles, and then I just deleted like all the ones in the middle with the orbs because I didn't know how to use those. So that's my only advice for that, is know the thresholds, use those 2 tiles to move, and when it is this like kamikaze phase, just count when you're flicking your prayers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And that's kind of what got me through it. And always remember on that one that it finishes attacking with whatever it started attacking you with. Okay, so my only tips or advice for the pillar one is basically the exact same thing that Red Eye Jedi said, was you just try to get to that P tile as soon as you can, click on that to get into the shadow realm as soon as possible. The only thing that I really do differently is I know that he said that you like go to the opposite side of your full health tile. I didn't really care to do that. I would literally only care about finding my 1 pillar, which is this one, my 2 pillar, my 3 pillar. That's all that I cared about. And then I would also recognize where my 5th pillar was. And it's just very simple. It's you do 1, you do 2, you do 3, and then whatever pillar is not your 5th pillar is your 4th pillar. That's really all that I used. I didn't like notice that it was on here and then go this way. And the reason why I didn't do that is because by the time I found my 1, 2, and 3 pillars, I didn't really have time to be like picky about which one pillar I went to. I just went to the first one that I saw that was by my number 2 pillar. And so that's just the advice that I have for that part. Okay, the last tip that I have, if you're going to copy my inventory setup, which is an inventory that assumes that you aren't going to be able to do this completely perfectly, that's why I have the bruise. So you're going to hopefully wait until your heart is either completely out, like it is here in this example, or like just like a minute left or like 30 seconds left. Like, you're not going to want to do this if you just used your heart. But this is why you bring in the bruise, is for this part. So the timer's going to run out here. It's going to slap you. You have time to hit 2 bruise in that time, restore, and then freeze it. And so this way you get a little bit more healing in, so you don't have to play completely perfectly. And then see, I'm going to be brewing up here. I am going to be brewed down for a few hits. I really don't think it's that big of a deal. You just brew up, take your time, move, and then you hit your heart after. Once you hit your heart, you're not going to want to use those brews unless you have to. So you're going to want to start using your food at that part once you've used your heart. But if your heart is almost out, or it is out, then that's when you can use your brews. And like I said, you can get 2 brews and restore before you have to freeze it after that ghost phase. So that's why I bring in brews. That's where I use them for. Okay, so one more thing that I'm going to talk about is the ghost phase. You'll notice that I don't have a vendor bow. I'm not going to go for killing all the ghosts. I'm just going to kill the Sanitas ghost. So what that looks like is here. Just equip your web weaver. You just look for the light blue ghosts that are saying Sanitas. You kill 4 of them. You get out of the Shadow Realm. And you get ready for getting hit a 70. So that's how I dealt with the ghosts. I guess I can show you getting hit, but I think I just showed this clip. So you brew twice because you didn't have the heart on your store, and then you brew up. So that's how I deal with the ghosts. I just kill the Sanitas ghosts and move on. I thought I would just mention for the orbs, I don't come out of the Shadow Realm because I never learned that skip that people do with all those tiles in the middle. I just literally just do this as fast as I can. Just don't miss any clicks and just get it done. You don't have to leave the Shadow Realm if you do it fast enough and you don't get hit by stuff. So the last tip that I'm going to give you guys is that it's not the end of the world if you get hit off prayer by the Whisper's attacks, because it's not actually those, I believe, that drains your sanity, because I got hit by those lots of times and it didn't drain my sanity. But if you get hit by these waves, like if you ever get hit by those waves, it does drain your sanity and your run is probably over at that point. And I believe it's the same way in the enrage phase. It doesn't really matter. Okay, well, my video's broke, but I believe it's the same way in the enrage phase, where it doesn't really matter if you get hit by the actual Whisper's attacks. It's the waves that drain your sanity. So I'll just make sure that that's right, and I'll go find a clip of me getting hit by the Whisper right now to show you guys. Okay, so this is the beginning of the enrage phase. So you swap to your Sang. So as you can see, I got hit there. So let's go back. I'm at 63 sanity. I'm at 59 sanity. I got hit. It doesn't matter. Like, my sanity just keeps going down by 4 anyways. So I got hit, but I dodged the wave. And as you can see, my sanity didn't drain by getting hit by the Whisper. So you do have to kind of focus more on moving. But as you also saw, it hit me for like a 40. So you can only take like 1 or 2 of those hits before you're probably going to die anyways. So in this enrage phase, just focus on moving for these waves. And the only advice that I can give is that it always starts with mage. So make sure that you're praying mage at the start. And you have to wait for it to actually hit you, because I believe that it registers the attack when it actually hits you, not when it throws it out. And yeah, just move, hit, keep switching your prayer. Honestly, this enrage phase is like the easiest enrage phase out of all of the bosses. But that being said, a lot of people say that this fight is easy. I would say that it's not easy. I still think that it's hard. It's very annoying. It's very frustrating. So don't let people like saying that it's the easiest one out of all the bosses like deter you, because I didn't find it the easiest one out of all the bosses. So if you're struggling with it, you know, you're not the only one. Like, I also really found this frustrating. But I will say the actual enrage part of this fight compared to the other bosses enrage part is relatively easy and chill. It's just the enrage that I would say is easy. But if you get hit at any other point in the fight and lose sanity, it's probably a reset. So it's still not easy. Okay, in terms of settings for the Whisper, it's very basic. I just use NPC indicators to mark it. So you're going to want to go into NPC indicators. I believe you'll have like highlight hull initially enabled. What you're going to want is true tile. Select true tile. You can change the color, whatever you want. And then you can either type the NPC into this list, like the Whisper, like right here. Or you can just go into a regular Whisper fight, and then, like, let's pretend that this chicken is the Whisper. Then you just hold shift, right click it, tag all, and then you'll have the box of the true tile under the Whisper. And that is the only setting that I used other than tile markers for the Whisper, and I will try to link the tiles. It's just Red-Eye Jedi's tiles, but then I just deleted some of them, and I changed the ones in the middle to be green so that I knew like which ones I wanted to use once I got the boss under 50% when it starts doing the like wall waves.